Right, let's talk interpreting box and whisker plots, or just box plots sometimes. So first of all, you'll notice that each box plot has exactly 5 dots on it. Now, sometimes a dot can refer to an outlier in a box plot, and you'll see that because it should be labeled with a data point or maybe an asterisk or something. But here clearly there are 5 data points, which is the lowest data point, the 25th percentile. In other words, the data point that's above 25% of the values, and then the median, or the 50th percentile, the point that's above half of the values, the 75th percentile, which is above 75% of the data, and then the maximum. Those are what those 5 points. Notice, by the way, the average is not represented in a box plot. That's a common misconception. We do have the median, because the median's tied into percentiles, but the mean is not tied into percentiles. Oftentimes it's somewhat close to the median, but we certainly don't know. Okay, so here we have 2 different classes, same number of students. That's important little bit of info there. And it says a score of above 70 is considered passing. Which class had more passing scores? Well, if you look at 70 right here, both of the classes have their 25th percentile. They call it the first quartile, right on 70. And so presumably 75% of the data in both classes is above 70, or 75% of the students have grades above 70 and they passed, especially since it has the same number of students. There's where that little tidbit comes in. Now, if you wanted to be really picky, just as an aside here, if there was a response for not enough info given, I would also accept that as correct. They're using a real basic interpretation here of first quartile. In reality, you could have multiple people with grades of 70 and even some here, well, not here, some above the 20, well, you could have fewer or more than 75% of your class passing. I just say that if that confuses you, completely ignore it, because Alex isn't testing that level of knowledge. But if you would ever say, oh, I understood what's going on here, but is this a trick question, and you put something and it's counted wrong, be in touch with me and let's talk about it. But according to the basic interpretation here, we have the 25th percentile, both of them at 70. So 75% of the students, roughly, in each class got above a 70 or passed. So that should have been both classes. Which class had test scores with a larger interquartile range? So interquartile range is the difference between Q3, which is the 75th percentile, and Q1, the 25th percentile. But you can very quickly see this by the size of the box. Your IQR is the size of the box, your interquartile range here. And class B certainly has a bigger IQR. That one's easy to see visually. Which class had a higher median? So median is the halfway point in the box. That's the 50th percentile in your data. And so that one would be class A there. It looks like they had around a 75, whereas class B had around a 73. So class A has the higher median. And which class had the highest test score? Well, there we're going all the way to the far right of each class, and class A again has the highest test score right there. It looks around a 94 or something. Whereas class B, the highest point was an 80, 89. So class A has the higher maximum. So these answers were actually all correct, except the first one where we do have this 25th percentile right at the passing line, and both classes are on it. So both classes had 75% of the students pass.